Good afternoon and welcome to Washoe County Library's Wild Wednesdays with Conservation Ambassadors Wild Things. We're just going to cut to the chase here. This is our friend Gabe, for those of you that haven't joined us before. Gabe, who's this?
This is Hobo. It's kind of a silly name, but this is her name is Hobo, and she is a 53-year-old Weeper Capuchin monkey. Quite elderly. She's one of the senior citizens here at Conservation Ambassadors. She's been at our center a long time. The Capuchin monkey is an amazing creature from Central and South America. Like how she's eating that? That is a girl.
I don't think we need to say anything. I think she's got the show under control.
Well, do you think maybe I should tell a little bit about Conservation Ambassadors, what we do here?
Yes, absolutely. I guess I should do a couple of housekeeping. I guess I'm a little smitten by our little hobo here. So again, welcome. You were cueing me that time. Sorry, Gabe. You're like, get to it, Beate. So welcome again to Washoe County Library's Wild Wednesdays. And our friend Gabe with Conservation Ambassadors has Hobo, a Capuchin monkey. My name is Beate. This event is live and can be viewed via Zoom and Washoe County Library's Facebook events page. And if you want to learn more about today's topic, we do have some supplemental materials and activities that can be found on our website at Washoe County Library /events, as well as on our Facebook page. And one of the things that we put on that page today is, what is the difference between monkeys and apes? But I have a feeling Gabe and little Miss Hobo, they are probably going to explain that to us. So basic housekeeping before we throw the show over here to our stars. Your mic will be muted. Question and answers will follow the presentation. Please do add your questions into the Zoom chat and we'll read them out loud at the end of Gabe's workshop here. And if you're joining us via Facebook, please add your questions to the comments and they will be included in the Zoom chat. Take it away, my friends.
All righty. Well, my name is Gabe and I work for Wild Things, one of the halves of Conservation Ambassadors. And what we do, I always like to explain what it is we do. At our center, we give a home to wild animals that need help. Wild animals that have been hurt, or wild animals that people have had illegally as pets. Here in California and Nevada, we have a big problem with people trying to keep wild animals in their possession as pets. It never works. It's also against the law. And those animals are taken away and they're sent to our center. Now, mostly what we do is we travel into school groups or libraries, give us a chance to share and to talk about some truly amazing wild creatures. But this year with the pandemic, we're not able to do that. So we're doing the virtual thing. And so that's where Wild Wednesdays with the Washoe County Libraries has been a lot of fun. This is our 8th Wednesday visiting with wild animals. And today we're gonna share some very, very special animals. Quite possibly the smartest animals that we have here at our center. And that's including my staff, but quite possibly the smartest animals here at our center.
I'm gonna tell them you said that.
No, they're not tuning in, so I think we're safe. This is the Weeper Capuchin monkey. And we'll start off with the name Capuchin. It's kind of a hard name to say, but Capuchin, it's a term because of this black cap on top of their head. You see that black area? When the first explorers came from Europe to the New World, came here and were exploring and going through the rainforests in Central and South America, they came across these monkeys. That's where they're from, Central and South America. And they saw this little black cap, and they thought they looked like monks, religious monks, priests from France, called the Capuchin monks. And that's where they get the name the Capuchin monkey. It's also where we get the name for the Capuchin or cappuccino coffee drink that we order at Starbucks. But that's where she has her name. Now, what she's doing right now, this is kind of cool. It's a special thing. She wants to groom me. She wants to go through my hair on my arm and look for small imperfections of which there are very, very few. She wants to go through and she wants to kind of clean me up a little bit. People always talk about monkeys grooming each other, that they're looking for bugs. Sure, they'll pick the bugs out, but it's more of a social time. It's more letting each other know they're members of the same family. So watch this, watch how she does this.
Oh, so
It's pretty
sweet.
cute, isn't it?
Very.
Now what she's doing, she's taking little pieces of skin off and she's eating them, which is not that attractive, I guess. But
We won't overanalyze.
don't overanalyze. That's right. This is, and then she'll go through. Oh, we got a great monkey. There we go. Now, while she's grooming me, let me tell you this monkey's history. Why she's at our center. She actually is quite elderly. She is 53 years old. Most Capuchin monkeys live average about 40 to 45 years of age. So she's quite old. She was a monkey that was down on the wharf in Monterey. And before we really thought about wildlife ethics, the people used to use animals like this to do what's called organ grinding. They go out and they take pennies and quarters away from the tourists, and they wear little hats and vests. And sure, it's very, very cute, and they play music, but it's really not where a wild animal belongs. This is an endangered species from the rainforest, and that's where I think she truly belongs. But she was retired, and she and one other named Jasper, they came here to our center. We become very fast friends, and I love sharing her, but I wish she lived her life out there in the wild. Speaking of wild for her, this is a Brazilian species of Capuchin monkey. She should be deep in the rainforest, in the Amazon, in Brazil. That's where she should be living. That feels a little funny. Now, look, she's built a lot like we are. She has hands just like we do. She has 4 fingers and an opposable thumb. If you do this, if you touch your finger to your thumb to your fingertips or into the palm, we don't think about this every day, but this is pretty cool. It's called an opposable thumb. This finger opposes the other. That opposable thumb helps us to hold a pen or throw a ball or climb a tree, drink a drink. She has the same kind of thumb. Can I show me your hand? Can you show me your hand? Look at this. She has the same kind of thumb on her hand. 4 fingers and that opposable thumb. Pretty cool, huh? But you know what she has that we don't have? Well, except for the tail. But she has opposable thumbs on her foot. She has 4 hands. She has a thumb on her foot. That's what makes her such a magnificent tree climber. She goes up and down the trees, and she never, ever, ever falls. They're so good with their feet. I've watched them sitting in the tree. They'll sit there and they'll watch a fly. As the fly flutters in front, and they'll reach out and catch her out of the air with their foot. Amazingly quick. And then you know what she does with the fly?
Eat it?
Yeah, she eats it. She thinks they're great. Look at this tail. She has that prehensile or grasping tail. She can grab onto tree branches. She can keep her balance with that tail. She can use it for helping to hold her babies. When a baby is climbing around on its mom's back, they kind of wrap that tail up there to keep them nice and confined and contained. It's kind of like a car seat in the car. It kind of keeps them attached. Also, that tail is used for carrying food. I've watched her go by and take food with her tail and just go walking off. It's rather comical. She grabs a mango or a banana and she takes it off and she's climbing the trees. I think she's absolutely beautiful. They have a language, just like we do. They have certain calls that mean certain things. She has one call that means danger. There's a hawk. It's a certain very specific sound. She has another call that means danger. There's a snake. She has another call where she's soliciting friendship. And let me show you that to you. This is kind of cool. I'm going to do, it's kind of, I call it the little dance, but I'm going to rub my belly and kind of rock my head and make a noise. And she, being a member of my family, she will respond accordingly. She'll kind of purse her lips in this little duck form and she'll kind of rock from side to side. So watch, here we go. Can you see that?
Oh,
and then there's a big hug. This is the now what I was doing. I was giving her an appeasement display. I was telling her that we're members of the same family, and that but you are very close, aren't you? This is not social distancing. She's what's that?
Where's her mask?
Oh, where's her mask? She's got a good grip too. But anyways, what she's doing is she's letting me know. I haven't seen her in a little while, but look at that face. Look.
Oh.
Yes, you're a good girl.
Such adoration.
Well, we've been together a while now, and I absolutely adore her. But like I said, I wish she was in the wild. I wish she was living in the wild. It's one of those simple. What are you doing?
Oh, she's checking to see if you have treats.
What's in there?
So speaking of treats, we had a question of what she likes to eat.
All right. A wild diet for the Capuchin monkey is fruits, flowers, leaves, and some bugs. That's so fruit, flowers, leaves, and some bugs. A very healthy diet. We ate like the Capuchin monkey. We live a long and healthy life. In captivity with us, they get those same fruits, flowers, leaves, but they also get a prepared biscuit. It's called a monkey chow. And it's made for zoos. And it's got all the nutrients that they require in a captive setting to keep them very, very healthy. The most important thing with any primate, and humans included, is having a diverse diet. Having a lot of different things, a lot of different fruits and vegetables and whatnot, so that all of the vitamins are represented in your diet. What are you doing? You got grape on your foot. Yes.
And then we had a question about how big are their babies and how big can they get?
Okay, this is a good-sized female capuchin. Males get to be almost twice this size. So they get to be rather large, yes. And they have great big teeth. They have great big canine teeth. And that's used to protect the troop. A family of any monkey is called a troop. And so they use those big teeth to kind of warn off other animals to say, better leave us alone. Also, it's kind of arguing within the troop to see who's in charge. They use those big teeth. When a baby is first born, I think that was the question, they're about the size of a stick of butter. So about that, that's a good way of describing it.
Oh, so
they
tiny.
are so cute when they're born. Little tiny fingers, and they're absolutely stunningly beautiful.
And bald? Do they get hair later, or?
They do have some hair. They don't have a thick coat, but you can see the colorations of the hair, and it is there on the skin. So if you imagine a very, very close shave, you can see the colors. And they're not precocious at all. Meaning they require a lot of care from the moms, and the moms are very, very good moms. They learn how to be parents. They learn how to be moms by living in a troop, living in a family, and that's one of the reasons why wild animals like this can't be reintroduced back out in the wild, because the family group is so incredibly important to them. Having aunts and uncles for stability and support, it's incredibly important.
Takes a community, takes a village. They live it.
That's right. It takes a village. Really, the only monkeys that are being actively rehabbed or re-released back out in the wild are lemurs, and they seem to do a little bit better. They're also being raised and released as family groups. That it is being successfully done. She's grooming my knuckle right now. Well, she's has had over the last year, she's had a rather special role here at Wild Things. She's been raising a baby monkey here at the center. And it's really important because we give this baby monkey as much attention as we possibly can, but it's not the same as being with other monkeys. And so she's been raising him, and now he's at kind of a teenage time, and she's starting to have enough of him. But they're still doing pretty well together. So do you want to meet them?
Oh, we would love to meet him. So we had a question whether this was our main animal. So Gabe just gave us a good intro to how he chose to do the animals today, which how lucky for us. We had two main animals, so bringing out the teenager. And then just again, for those of you that are just joining us, welcome to Wild Wednesdays, Washoe County Library partnering with Conservation Ambassadors. And these are our friends Gabe and Hobo, and I'll let you figure out which one is which. And we've had lots of love and hugging comments about how sweet she is, and that we would really like to be hugging her as well, because that is just adorable.
She is stunningly beautiful, and like I said, she's probably the smartest animal that we have here at our center. She's very, very bright. So I'm going to put her back, and I'm going to bring out her nemesis, the animal that she's raising. So give me just 1 second.
All right, here they are.
Here we go. This. Here we go. This is Darwin. Oh, Darwin. Oh. Yeah, good boy. This is Darwin, and can you see a little difference in the coloration to him?
And in the energy.
And in the energy level. Yeah, he's saying hello to Jess, actually, to our camera girl. He loves her. Come here, buddy. there. Now, this is an albifrons capuchin monkey. Fantastic creature. Now, we were talking about Hobo and that she comes from Brazil, right? Well, they are endangered in the wild because of the loss of the rainforest that she calls home. The weeper capuchin monkey is having a really, really hard time. This type of capuchin is called an albifrons, and they're actually from Costa Rica. And you know what? There's some good news. These guys are actually doing pretty well in the wild. You know the difference is? Costa Rica, as a nation, has protected their forests. They've protected their forests, and because these guys have forests and have habitat, they're doing just fine. It kind of gives me hope. It shows that if we do protect the habitat, the animals do just fine right alongside of us. I think that's really amazing. Now,
a really important point.
This guy came to us. He was, there's a very famous man. I'm not allowed to say his name, but he's here in California. He's a musician, and he thought he was above the law. And he went and he purchased this little monkey in the state of Texas. He brought him back here into California, and he got caught, and Darwin was taken away and was sent to our center by our Department of Fish and Wildlife. And you know, I adore him, and for the last year, this guy has been with me. When he's not with Hobo, he's with me. He's been with me a lot of time, a lot of hours. And I adore him. I love being able to share him with you. But I wish he was in Costa Rica. I wish this guy was in the wild. So he's like I said, very young. One day he'll be twice this size. He'll have great big teeth. Can I show him your teeth, bud? Let me show him your teeth. Look at those. No, not yet. You just want to tell him.
So, Gabe, are you telling us that you've had a monkey on your back this past year?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got several monkeys on my back, but this is one of them. This is this guy here. And you know, I love what I do, and I love being close to wild animals. But it's a funny point, but people ask me all the time, they see these cute creatures and they say, oh, it's so neat. And I would never discourage somebody from being interested in working with wildlife, but the pet trade is not the right way of doing it. I love being with these animals, but my pet is my dog. I love my dog. He loves me. He belongs in a home. This guy, we're trying to replicate the rainforest in his home here at the center, but it's not the same as living in Costa Rica. It's not the same as living in the wild. Incredibly intelligent. This guy already has figured out so many things, everything from doorknobs to light switches, just incredibly bright animal. Oh, look, there's somebody.
So how old is he again, Gabe?
He's just about a year and a half.
But hitting his teen years in
Correct.
Monkey years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very shy, aren't you? Right? Been so shy. Yes. It's.
Oh.
Look at it. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those teeth. These big canines just starting to come in.
Now, are they like humans? I mean, mammals, right? He has baby teeth, and then their baby teeth, and get their adult teeth. Correct.
That's. You move around a little bit. At our center right now, we have 15 different primates at our center. We met the lemurs here one of the weeks, and we have gibbon. 8 from Thailand, and we have the capuchins and baboon and whatnot, and they're just so unique. And of the world's monkeys, 90% are endangered in the wild, are having a hard time. I hope in the coming years we do a better job, and I hope the kids that are listening maybe they will do a better job than we did in protecting our forests, the value of protecting the rainforests. Talking about apes, I think that was one of your questions, right? Apes and monkeys. This thing right here. Apes don't have a tail. Apes, they don't have a tail. Now, there are 2 monkey species that don't have tails either, but that's one of the ways of discerning the difference. So the apes are considered higher primates. I think that Darwin might object to that, but they're considered the higher primates. Now, he looks awfully cute. This is all going to change in about when he's about 5 years old. He's going to start letting me know that he's the big guy, the big man on campus. His behavior will change, and I hope he'll still be workable and still travel to school groups. but that's his decision. He's not like a puppy or a kid. He can make that decision that he no longer wants to be handled. Huh.
So they don't get more aggressive until well into their adult years then?
Yeah, right as they hit
You're
maturity.
still young.
Is he looking into the camera?
Just below.
Just below?
Oh, wait, we've got, oh. So we have a funny question here. Why so hyper?
Why? Well, he's being very calm right now. This is actually calm. This is, he's, I don't know, it must be midday nap time. Oh, look, he's nursing on my arm.
Oh.
But yes, when they are really hyper, they are bouncing off the walls. It's amazing how much energy and how incredibly strong they are. This is a little guy that he can jump from the ground. He can grab this ceiling above me about 7 feet up. He's an amazing jumper. And he jumps from tree branch to tree branch, grabbing on with his hands and with that prehensile tail, with that hanging tail. Gosh. See how they're built? He has a very, very beautiful ears just like we do. And he hears exceptionally well. He sees in color, and that's important for him to see in color because he has to tell if fruit is ripe, if it's something that he would want to eat. He's intelligent enough to know when something should be perceived as danger. If there's a cat or something, he's aware of it. He understands that, hey, this is something I have to be cautious about. And then his language, you listen to him talk and Hobo answer. They communicate all the time. Yes.
So because you've been around them so much, we have a question here. What is he saying, Gabe? Can you translate
That's a good question. I'm not fluent in Capuchin yet. I'm getting there. But right now he's just being excited. He doesn't quite understand why there's no audience in front of me. Usually when we travel, there's a group of kids in front of me. Right now it's just the camera. So I'm sure and I think he wants to jump onto the camera too. He wants to go see what that is all about.
Got to figure out how to make it work. Yeah. So we've had an offer of monkey sitting. I'm going to throw that back at this family. So after hearing how much more hyper he can be, do you still want to offer to monkey sit?
What a great idea. Careful what you wish for. That's all I can say to that one. But, I shouldn't be so flip about it. Like I say, if people are interested in being around wildlife, because I think that's what got me into this mess with working with animals. Ever since I was in junior high, I wanted to be around wild creatures. But I would suggest studying science in school, getting a job working with wildlife. There's lots of great career opportunities in terms of the zoological world or doing wildlife research out in the wild. Lots of really great venues or abilities to go out there and do it the right way, and be a part of the solutions for these animals. Now we're getting a little bit hyper.
Gabe, we always appreciate how much you focus on the animals, and that is clearly your passion and why we are hosting you. We want to learn about the animals. However, that is the first time I've actually heard you mention your background. So ever since you were in middle school, you were interested in animals, and then where'd you go with that?
Oh boy, it's a long route. That where I got my specific animal knowledge in terms of working hands-on with wildlife. It's a great program right here in California. It's called the Exotic Animal Training and Management School at Moore Park College. It's down in Southern California, and almost anybody that works hands-on with wildlife has gone through that program. And it's a real strenuous program. It's difficult to get in, but it's well worth it. It's basically a teaching zoo, and it was an opportunity to go and not only see if it's exactly what you want to do with your life, but also see opening up doorways into careers with wildlife. So that's as upon graduating in 1988, so it's a while back, we started Conservation Ambassadors Wild Things. So
I didn't realize that did you do something else before you went into this Moore College, or have you?
Yes, I did. And it was funny. One of my first jobs with wildlife was I got a chance to work with a biologist tracking mountain lions in Colorado, and it was phenomenal. I was outdoors, I loved it, but I saw how much of it was grant writing and seeing that, and really realized that wasn't the avenue that I wanted to pursue, and so that's where, yes.
So can you see, ladies and gentlemen, that I am setting Gabe up to write an autobiography about himself? Because I think many of us at some point in our young lives wanted to work with animals, and Gabe did it. He followed the path.
Now I've got monkeys putting their hands in my mouth.
Check it out, what's in there. It's got to groom your teeth. Yep. So we've got one of our fans here enjoying his sideburns. He looks like he has sideburns.
Oh, he does. That's cool. It's kind of like Eddie Munster.
And then, why is he grasping onto your hand?
He's just playing. Right now, this is all play. And even his expression is, you can see the smile on his face. This is all, he's mouthing and it's being tickled. This is just grabbing his forehead. This is all play behavior. Yes, you're a good boy. But this will escalate. This will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And pretty soon he'll be bouncing off the wall. Do you guys hear that sound? That was an excited sound. That was him just being very excited. Yeah.
Oh.
When he came to us, he obviously was taken away from his mom way too young by the people that had him, and they fed him the right foods, but the contact wasn't there, and so he had some issues when he first came to us. He didn't want to explore. He was afraid to leave, to walk away from anything. He was just had separation anxiety and whatnot. Just like a person, this guy requires a lot of specific experiences in order to be healthy. And he's come around. I think that Hobo, the older monkey, has really played a large role in that. Yes.
How fast can he go, Gabe?
When he's jumping from branch to branch, he's lightning quick. On the ground, he runs about as fast as we do. But in the trees, it's unbelievable. And it's almost as if they have a pre-planned route. They jump and they grab and they jump and they just, it's almost as if they don't need to think about it as they're moving. It just happens.
And then, so just to make sure everybody's questions are getting answered, please do add your questions in the chat if you're joining us here on our Zoom. But if you're in Facebook, go ahead and put it in the comments section and I'll be sure to read it out. And then can you go over how long do they live again? We've got a lot of interest on these guys.
About 45 years. That's a good lifespan for Capuchin monkey. But Hobo's breaking the records. She's very, very healthy. She's doing really well. Do you want to see them together?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, let's see what happens. This can only go right? Let's see.
And then we're just going to verify he is a monkey because he has a tail, correct? Not an ape.
Correct. That's one of the discerning factors. Is you can tell it's a monkey because it has a tail. There. So, you guys going to do something exciting or just going to look at each other?
Oh, she's like, I'm so over this little guy.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
teenager.
Their vocalizations have totally changed. I don't know if you noticed when they brought her out here. Now they're no longer calling for each other. Everybody's got a little bit quieter. They were communicating while they were apart.
So, Gabe, one of our families noticed that Darwin kept going to the edge of the table. Do you think he was going to the edge of the table because he wanted Hobo, or?
No, I think he's just exploring. He's just checking things out. This is not an edge for him to see. He just jumped off. That doesn't really represent an edge for him. Maybe if it was up a lot higher, then that would be something that would be interesting to look over. This for him is nothing. There goes Hobo. She's looking at me. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I think I got all the questions.
Terrific. So I hope I stated, these guys should be in the wild. That's very, very important to me. They should be living free in the wild. Love being able to share them with you and talk about them. But boy, I wish they had a chance to live out there. Well, that's a good girl. And I always like to get kids involved. There are things that everybody has to do to help save wildlife, even animals like monkeys. And a good example is recycling aluminum cans. If we recycle aluminum cans, we're helping capuchin monkeys because a lot of the aluminum comes from the rainforest, is mined in the rainforest. So if we can save some of that, recycle, it's like we're saving a shovel full of dirt, their forest being dug up. Simple things like that.
All right, families that are joining us live here, any other last questions for Gabe and Hobo and Darwin? They are so precious.
It's a barrel full of monkeys here.
Rough job.
Okay.
You make it look easy, though. We understand the work that goes behind it.
Yeah, you know what the worst part about with these guys is? I'm allergic to them. They make my face all itchy. So, like right now, I want to scratch my nose.
You know, I bet Darwin will scratch your nose happily.
Of course they will. That's a good girl. All righty. Well, it's been a lot of fun visiting on Wild Wednesdays. It's been a great experience. I really enjoyed it. And I hope all the patrons did as well.
So, Gabe, there was one more comment before we sign off here. Is there a dad monkey there?
No. Well, we have a big male. Yes, we have a big male capuchin monkey, but he's not the dad. His name is Tico, and Tico is huge and has great big teeth, and he's one of my favorites. And he likes it when I drive up to the facility. He knows my car, and he likes to call to me. It's a nice greeting. He always lets me know that, hey, Gabe's here.
Aw. Now, do you dare take him out when you do tours, or is
yeah, he does programs.
That's lovely. So I can't express our appreciation more in having the privilege of playing with you, even though it was virtual, not quite the same as when we get to play together in person. I think all of our families can agree, but truly a pleasure to work with you guys and Jess on the back end and Becky and JoJo. And we've got our John on our back end, and we had Morgan hosting some of these, and truly it has been one of the best parts of our summer. I think I can speak for
mine too.
Of our staff for sure. Yours too. I'm so glad to hear that, because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, next summer reading theme for next summer for 2021 is Tales and Tales. And I think our goal is going to be to bring Gabe back, and hopefully live, if you're willing.
We'll bring animals with tails. How's that?
Ooh, I like it.
All right.
We'll actually get to meet Darwin in person.
That's great.
So just a couple of last shout outs. Thank you to Conservation Ambassadors. You want to learn more about Conservation Ambassadors? They are, the link to the website is on that information sheet that we have out there. And again, thank you to Friends of Washoe County Library. We couldn't do these things without our support from our friends. And then if you missed any of our events, and including this one, if you want to watch this one again, this one will be archived on our YouTube channel. So just peruse through our website and you'll see all of our events that we've done through the summer. And we are winding down for summer learning, but I think you guys are ready for what as school begins, whatever that's going to look like for each of you. But I think we learned a lot this summer, especially with our friends at Conservation Ambassadors. So thank you again for joining us. And Gabe, I think we're going to miss our Wednesdays.
We are. But the next summer is a great thing to look forward to.
Good goal. Bye, Hobo. Bye, Darwin.
Bye.
Bye.